Good evening, everyone. How's everyone doing this evening?
Great.
Fine.
Doing good.
So, real quick, just before we start, we are going to take questions at the end, but you also can put your questions in the chat. We have the admins in the chat to answer the questions tonight. When I start answering questions, I'm going to go by the raised hand. I should have gave this. I need to give one of you guys. All right. We're working. We're working. Good afternoon. Good evening, everyone. I'm Katrina. I'm going to introduce the admin team. We have Crystal, Sharon, and Jerry. And we have a couple of behind the scenes that are awesome, and I thank them for everything they're doing. And I also want to give a big shout out to Philippe and what he has going on. Nothing but blessing and success for all of us. As you know, he's still a part of the community, as we have all gifted in along with the DC team. We have, family members and stuff that's within all the tiers. So we all still are a part of the community. And again, I would like to congratulate him on everything he's doing and wish him nothing but success and blessings. So with that being said, let's get to the business, guys. As you know, there has been some changes. I'm going to get right into it so I don't keep you long tonight. So we have changed the names of the room. So the Wave is now called the Ladder, which is our $100 tier. The Bridge is now called the Gate, which is our $300 tier. The Roof, that was formerly called the Power Plant, is now the Roof, and that's our $500 tier. We are still making a couple of changes to the steps so it can be more clear. So overall, so with the Ladder, which is our $100 tier, and we also have a new sponsorship tier. And the idea behind the sponsorship tier is that, we need a fluctuating of new people coming in.
Could everyone please mute their phones or their lines? Thank you.
Are you hearing me? Okay. All right. And how the sponsorship tier works, I got my notes on my phone, guys. Brand new people from the community sign up on the sponsorship tier. So when you get gifted in the 100, you'll sponsor one person in from the sponsorship list. The sponsorship, everyone who signs up on the sponsorship, they cannot be loaded on any of the boards, the 100, the 300, or the 500. And the idea that we came up behind that is like, we're not requiring 2 people to come in. And just do the numbers, like in the power plant, we have 341 people in the power plant. So we have required each one of them to bring 2 people. That'd be 682. And if we require those 682 people to bring 2 people, that's 1,364. Most of the rooms are stalling because we don't have enough people, new people coming in. So we're recycling through our steps without enough people. So when we come to a halt, it's because our lists are exhausted. We don't have enough new people signing up on the list. So the idea with the sponsorship came to help get the boards moving again with the new, fresh people to the community. It could be someone who's in need. It could be just someone who doesn't believe. But in order to get on the sponsorship list, you do have to be brand new to the community. And we're gonna move, so I'm gonna move to tier 1. So how the Ladder, the $100 tier, I need y'all to mute right quick, works is once you get gifted in the $100 tier, you're going to earn, like, for instance, we have enough to close 4 boards next Tuesday. The 5th board, you will already be loaded. The 4 people who get gifted that night, they'll already be automatically loaded on that 5th board. I'm sorry, guys. I'm muting some because I'm getting a lot of feedback. Mute. They'll be loaded on that 5th board. So that, because the rule of thumb, if we wait a whole week in order to get them to gift in, most likely a lot of them won't still have the money, or we'll be looking for them. And that's just the facts. Because like when we started the 100, the idea was for everyone to tier up, and it just didn't happen. They didn't do it on their own. So like I said, so in tier 1, the ladder, when you get gifted your $100 gift, once we open up on Tuesday, those 4 people who get gifted will be on the 5th board. They'll be the first 4 on the 5th board, and they will gift back in that night. And if they're not already in the power plant, they're going to tier up to the $300 level. Because our only entry ports right now is the $100 and the $500 level. So again, our $500 level form is open, and you can only come in through a sponsorship, the 100, or either the 500. So again, so once you get gifted in the ladder and you sponsor your 1 person in, you tier up to the $300 level. Once you get gifted in the $300 level, you would then turn around and you're going to give 3 people in back to the ladder, which will be boarded also that same night. So you'll know that night when we close who you have to gift into for the $100. Now the difference with the ladder and the gate, because if we close 4 boards, that's 12 people. So we can close an additional 4 boards based on the growth of our sponsorship list. So we got to get people on the sponsorship list. And we still do need people to sign up for the 300. But the only way you can sign up on the $300 list is you have to be either boarded into the power plant already or boarded into the $100 list board already. That's the only way you get on the $300 board, because like we're just starting, we have only did it twice. So then once you get gifted in the $300 level, like I said, you'll then turn around, you'll pay your admin fee, and you're gonna gift that night. We'll sponsor 3 people in that night. If you're not already on the power plant, the roof, I'm still, the names are new, the roof, you would tier up to the roof that same night. The idea is to, alleviate those gaps. Because like I said, if we wait a whole week to do it versus coming behind each night, we're gonna, most people, the money's not gonna be there. But then it will be unfair to the community that does do it without having to be, I don't know, give me a word, having to be told to do it, I guess, but they know to do it because they want this program to work. So that's how it works. I'm gonna put a challenge out, to close 4 boards. We have enough boards. We have enough on the $100 list to close our 4 boards on Tuesday. We're still needing more people for the $300 list, but remember, you have to either be already in the power plant or in the 100 group, because those boards are going to move a little faster because it's 4 to 1. We're planning on starting next Tuesday. We'll have a Zoom call on Sunday. Text messages for Tuesday will go out on Sunday. And now let us know where we're at. Daily, we let's putting our numbers out to, show kind of what Fleet was already doing, putting the numbers out to let you guys know where we at. There's really no big changes as far as when we're boarding. We still have to post our cash apps. We'll post the closed boards. Our goal is to have our closed boards posted nightly when we close. The idea. And as far as the board, so for the wave, the bridge, and the power plant, everyone's in the same position. Everyone's in the same position. The boards have been updated, so after the call, we'll be putting the boards along with the Zoom meeting up in the rooms. Secondly, another thing that we have done is just to alleviate all the clutter in the rooms. I want to make sure I read it correct. You no longer can post in the ladder, the gate, or the roof. We'll open those rooms back up 15 minutes prior to boarding, and that'll help alleviate all of the false readies, the gifts, the GIFs, and all that stuff, because we're trying to see who's actually gifting in different things, and we have such a fluctuating of 40, 30 people putting a lot of stuff in the rooms. It takes admins a little longer to see what we need to see so we can move and close these boards in a timely manner. The boards were open at 7. Our goal is to be done by 8 o'clock, 8:30 the latest. You still have 15 minutes, that hashtag ready. One other difference is, so when we send out that text message, you won't have the cash app to the person that you're gifting into, but when we post it 15 minutes prior to the board's opening, the cash app will be there. So they'll give you a little extra time to, get payments through. Can we mute our phones, please? And also it'll give the admins a jump on, closing the boards, or, we also have people who need help, with the cash apps and different things. So they'll give us, time to also assist when we need. And also make sure we're sharing this opportunity. This is a new day. We are, we're migrating to a new system to move our boards, our power plant boards, our old boards, which are not old, they're still new, but we need them to move. So with the sponsorship, we felt like it would be a great opportunity for new people to join our community, us to sponsor each other in and support each other. This is one of the biggest things, is about sharing this opportunity and education, making sure that we have enough education out there so that we're not giving false time frame. I've been asked, well, I thought we was gonna get gifted within a week. When we first opened the boards, yeah, we did move that fast, but as the boards grow and split, we have done, a different couple of Zoom calls Philippe had done, and shown how the board split. So we always need a fluctuation of people coming in, mainly new people, because that's how we're gonna push our boards and, grow to our boards. Our focus is still the power plant, our residual income room, the roof. I'm sorry, y'all. It's gonna take me a minute because I've been saying these rooms since June, the power plant. And so once you come off the boards and the gate, which is our $300 boards, and you get to the power plant, which is our premier group, which is our residual income. So if you're not already boarded in the power plant, you will board in the power plant. If you're already boarded in the power plant, you will still sponsor 5 people in, back all the way down to the ladder. So again, the idea is these new fluctuating of people that are coming in off our sponsor list, and plus the people who are the community that is signed up on the ladder, the gate, and the roof, will also help us move our boards, our community, to the next level. I was asked today, well, why would I want to sponsor those many people, and what's the other alternative? The other alternative is, I'm sorry, guys. Somebody just popped up on me. The other alternative is we stall out. Or we start requiring everyone to bring 2 people. And the thing with the 2 people, you know, like we was talking on the call last night, I can get my 2 people, but then if our 2 people that we bring in can't get their 2 people, we're still back to where we're at right now. But I strongly feel like, you know, if we present this to our community and our friends and families, like, okay, if you don't have the $100, you can get on the sponsor list. But once you get gifted, because you got to think, each person that comes off that sponsor list, every time they're gifted, they're going to sponsor back in a total of 9 people. We all will. So if you do the math, like for instance, I'm in the power plant 3 times, right? So that's 15 people I'm going to sponsor. That's the number of people it takes to close a board and make it residual for one person. One person. So you have 300, like I said, there's 341 people currently in the power plant that either have been gifted or boarded. Times 5. That's 1,700 people we can gift in to move our boards to become residual. We will also break down the numbers for you guys, and we'll put it in the Q&A. The Q&A room. The Q&A room is going to be kind of like our go-to room to get all your information. We still have over almost 2,000 people in our community between the 3 rooms, and we only have 485 people in the Q&A room. So we'll be sending out another email and a text message to get people to join, because like I said, currently, as of right now, you can no longer post in those rooms until we open the board. So the only room that you can post in, ask your questions, any concerns, is the Q&A room. So if you have family and friends, you know, that you know are not in the Q&A room, once this call is over, we'll put the link back into the Q&A room so you can share it or send it out, because ultimately it's going to take all of us to make this work. We're still open to suggestions. We're still working on things, especially with the education part, because that's like the biggest thing is the education. So we're making sure that we're educating our families and friends on the new process. And it's going to take a minute. And I know there's a lot of questions. I'm looking in the chat, and I have a couple of hands. So I'm going to summarize really quick. 1, we need new people signed up on a sponsorship list. Go ahead and reach out to some people you may have already asked to join the community. And even if you know, like, the sponsorship list and the step-by-step will be in PDF. If you know, send it to them so they can read it. This video, once it's done, it will be on our YouTube channel and also on the Zoom. But we're gearing more people to the YouTube channel so we can get more views, more likes, and more questions, because the last the last Zoom call we did, we're almost over 300, but like I said, we have over close to 3,000 people in our communities. So we have a lot of people in the community that have kind of lost touch, haven't been around. That's why in the Q&A, we'll get questions, and I'll be like, oh wow, I haven't seen this person in like 3 months. They're not tuned in. So one of our biggest concerns is getting everybody tuned back into what we're doing, because like I said, we have a lot of money on these boards. So like I said, I'm going to recap. So once our sponsors come off the sponsor list and they move to the 100, they're in the same rotation as we all are. So once you get gifted in the $100 room, which is the ladder, You're going to sponsor one person in, and you're going to tier up to the 300. Once you get gifted in the 300, you sponsor 3 people in back to the ladder. And if you're not already in the roof, you'll move up the next tier, and it'll be simultaneous. So at the end of the night, so like with the ladder, when we close those boards that night, that 5th board will be a sponsor board, and that's who the 4 people will sponsor in. And then another thing we talked about last night, just so I don't forget, because I didn't have it on here, is that, you know, previously when we were loading, especially in the $100 room, we had a lot of people, we had to replace a lot of people. That exhausted our list. Like, so when you're replacing 4 and 5 boards, but then you also have, you know, 20, 30 people saying they're ready to come in, we're going to let them come in, because that'll also help alleviate us exhausting our list. Another question I just got text from my phone is why we're only doing it 1 night a week, because that's how our list is growing. It's still list based. We only can close based off our list. Where we at on time? Somebody keep me on time. On our list. Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. I'm getting like text messages and different things asking questions.
Katrina,
Yeah.
sorry. I'll try to handle your questions. You're good on your time.
Okay.
Look down. You did discuss what was in the bottom of the plug team about the boards being open the last 15 minutes.
Yes.
Okay.
Definitely, and another thing, please don't get on these lists if you're not ready to board. Because that was another one of the issues, you know, these text messages and these email blasts, the amount of people that's not ready, it can't keep happening. So it's just one of the things, please don't get on the list if you're not ready to board.
Please make sure your information is correct when you register on the forms, because a few of you have mentioned that you're not receiving your emails. And the only email address we have is the email address which you registered on your form. So please make sure your phone number, your email address is correct. If you're signing somebody up, I know there's a few people in our community that help the elderly. Make sure you're sharing the information, because I know most of you are registering underneath your name, but make sure you get this information out to the community. As Katrina shared, there's the YouTube channel now. There's the Q&A room that is our main focus of sharing out information with the community going forward. Right now, I'm going to give you Tiffany, Katrina, because she has had her hand raised for a while.
Tiffany, lower your hand. Hi.
Hello.
Hey.
Hi.
Hi. Yes, ma'am. How you
So
doing?
I'm doing fine. So my question, well, first, I'm in all 3 levels, haven't been gifted yet. I wanted to know, in the $100 level, do we still pay an admin fee?
The admin fee, okay, so the admin fees currently we have dropped. It's $25, $50, and $75. And really, that's really paying for the text messages and the back end, you know. So when I print up 120 things, it's costing me over $100. You see what I'm saying? So the admin fees, most of it is really for the community. Because like I say, the text message, the cell phone, all that costs. And
Okay. Okay. So $25 in the 100 level.
Yeah.
Okay. So you said something about when you get to the I'm gonna say the power plant, because I can't remember which is which. So once you get to the power plant or gifted out of the power plant, you sponsor, did you say 5 people? How will we be sponsoring 5 people?
So you'll be boarded on, so you'll sponsor them that night. So how it works is, so the board will be up, your name will be on the board. So you'll know who you have to sponsor in.
Okay, so
Katrina, let me help Tiffany right there. Tiffany, what also happened is we created the new sponsorship form. So for like our friends and family, like a lot of people mentioned, you know, we have friends and family that we wanted to sign up in the community, but they're apprehensive. They've seen what's kind of going on in the community. So for those friends and family that we have apprehensive, we created this new sponsorship form. So when they sign up on that form, although we sponsor them into the ladder, they agree to become a sponsor within our community. So they have to sponsor people in. So we have that list that we'll have in the background, so we will already know who's on the sponsorship list. Does that help you?
No, no, ma'am. So I'm just trying to figure out. So once I get 3,500 out of the power plant, I take another 500 and then sponsor 5 more people at the $100 level.
Yeah. Right.
I'm confused about the whole this whole.
Okay, so the confusion, yeah, a lot of people may be confused. And like, you're not the only one who's like, oh, why would we do that? Right now, we're at standstill. And like I said, when you came in, if we required you to bring 2 people, your 2 people to bring 2 people, and their 2 people to bring 2 people. But when I look at our list, I can tell you who actually bring in. We have, you know, maybe 4 or 5 families that actually brought enough people in. Like myself, I brought 110 people in. So I moved, you know, I helped move the boards. We all, you know, everyone who brought people in, multiple people. Like you can look on, you know, on the boards, you'll see that there's multiple families that came in. And the only way this is going to work, we're going to have to sponsor new people into it.
I don't have no issue with sponsoring. I'm just trying to understand what will be our income. I mean, what will we be receiving after we're gifted out? Like
2,900.
I'm confused at.
You'll be gifting $2,925.
Okay, so you come home with 2,000 and something instead of the 3,500.
Yes.
Okay.
Because right now the other option is these boards just sit and we get nothing. You understand what I'm saying? So it's like a catch-22. If we don't do something, they sit there, right? If we don't get a fluctuation of new community members, they sit there. Our boards sit there. And then, like, for instance, like I was just talking to another person. So once you get gifted in I'm like you, I want to call it the wave, the ladder or the gate, right? Especially, or once you get gifted, because in the power plant, you know, you're really zeroed out. That make, you understand what I'm saying? So on the other hand, the newer people who are coming in, they are getting a little better deal than the ones that we've been sitting here waiting for our boards to move and get gifted. But on the other hand, as long as we have a fluctuation of new people coming in, we can move these boards. We can close these boards. So, because you got to think, everything is still going to the power plant. You can go to the power plant up to 3 times. That's almost $10,000 a month. But how do we get there? You understand what I'm saying?
Katrina, so if we were responsible, if we're not doing the bring 2 people in, so why wouldn't we just sponsor 2 people in? If most SUSUs have been bringing 2 people in, why aren't we just sponsoring 2 people in instead of sponsoring a whole 9 people in?
Because it won't be enough to move these boards. Who was it? I didn't see, who was that just talking?
I wasn't, Katrina, I wasn't finished my questions.
Oh, I don't even know who was that just started talking. I was trying to see.
That was Creative Flow.
Okay, that's please raise your hands. We're gonna get to you because I'm gonna do probably.
Okay, so this is my last question, Katrina. In the $300 level, which I'm already in,
Yeah.
I just want to be clear. I want to be that we do not have to go up to the $500 level.
No, if you already, our power plant is our premier group, right? This is the residual passive income. So once you enter $500 level, no, you keep it. You don't have to go back up. But the idea is to get the newer people and the one whoever's not on the $500 level is to cheer them up until they get there.
I got it. Okay.
That moves, and I understand they're saying to sponsor 2 people in, but like I said, if that was the case to help us get these boards moving, it's not enough. It's not enough. I'm just gonna be honest with you. It's not enough. It's not enough.
When we'll start?
Huh?
Do you know when we'll start?
Tuesday.
Tuesday. Okay, I got it. That's it. Thank you so much.
So it'll be Tuesday, and the text messages for the $100 level will go out on Sunday after our Zoom call. Like I said, ultimately the idea is like if we could do. I looked at the 2, and when you do the numbers, it's still not enough. It's not enough. And like I say, in order to close that 8 to 1 board, you need so many people. And in order for us to do what we need to do for our community and get to this money, as you say, get to the bag, we all gonna. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna go back in on all 3 levels. Well, not all 3, but the 100 and 800. I'm gonna sponsor my whole admin team on the 103 level. The 300 level, just to also get started, because I can't ask you guys to do something I'm not willing to do myself.
No, I don't have no problem with sponsoring people. I just want to know how does it work. Okay.
It makes sense. I mean, if you haven't, you can, I got a phone. I always pick up the phone, or me or Crystal or whoever has the phone. You can, reach out.
And I am going to work on some educational material to send out to you all as a community in regards to the sponsorship and how it works. Because just to add, just like Katrina says, if we all do our part, that means we bring 9 people into the community. So that means if we all do it, we all close a board. So that helps us all, just like she said, put our money in the bag. Okay. So the next question was from Sandra, who has her hand raised.
Yes. Hello, everybody.
Hey.
Hey. Okay, so Katrina, Tiffany kind of touched on my question about the sponsorship, but to caveat off of that, so with the sponsorship thing, are we sponsoring anybody, or can we sponsor our family?
Put them on the list.
Put our family on the list, and then so how does this work? When it's time for us to pay out, when it's time for us to get paid, if I get paid the say if I'm in the 300 the gate, and it's time for me to sponsor 3 people, so is that 3 of my family members that's gonna come?
Okay, so often, rule of thumb is, even with the power plant, families don't gift into family.
Mm-hmm.
So with the sponsorship, we're gonna go date stamp.
Okay.
But you'll see, you know what I'm saying, you'll know who you're sponsoring because it's gonna be on. So like I said, once you close that night, and you're gonna be on the board to sponsor someone in. So your name, like for instance, if you get gifted, Sandra, and then it'll be a # with that person's first name.
Okay, so when when do I fill out the sponsorship form to put some of my family and friends in? When do I do that?
Tonight, we'll put, because we took everything down so we can make, we'll put everything back up tonight and the lists are open. You can do it tonight. But like I said, make sure that you give them the education.
Right.
And also to add on that, Sandra, the sponsorship form and for everybody in the community is in the Q&A room. It is pinned there. And just like you want to put, and if you ask who you want to sponsor in, of course we all want to sponsor in our friends and family and people that we know that we'd love to bring into the community who would love to see how this works. Put them on the sponsorship form, share it with them so they have the opportunity to sign up.
Well, my family, they don't have, they're elderly and they don't have Cash App. I'm gonna say not Cash App. Yeah, they don't have Cash App or Telegram, so I'll be doing it for them. But
correct.
They will be aware of the process. But
yes, and put your information just like we have for other people. They put their name, but put your Cash App information and your contact information. As I said earlier, so if you're sponsoring somebody, make sure you're keeping them up to date as well.
Correct. Okay. And then also, thank you for answering my sponsorship question. My next question is are repercussions. Okay, so we have repercussions for not gifting in admin or sponsorship people. Which is they will be eliminated from the group permanently. And we have repercussions for if someone curses or be ugly in the group. That's to be banned for a while, for a period of time or whatever. And so, are there any repercussions for people who in the past have y'all called, try to contact, and they didn't answer or playing dumb or what have you, and no answers or anything like that, not being ready when they filled out the form to be to pay in or whatever, and then come D-Day, or they like I said, playing dumb or not ready or what have you. Are there repercussions for that? Because if not, we're just going to end up back in the same situation that we are.
Oh, I'm sorry. I muted you on accident. I'm sorry. I apologize. Unmute yourself.
Okay.
I apologize. So let me just quick answer that.
Mm-hmm.
We probably got to go like maybe 5 more minutes, guys. 5-10 more minutes. So this is the thing. Disrespect, the not responding to text messages and phone calls or emails, we're gonna start the spot. That's what's gonna happen. Because that's a part of our bylaws. We have to respect each other.
Right, and I understand that.
Admins, the community, we will respect each other. That's
right, exactly.
And when we're sending out text messages and we're calling people and we're not getting response, and it's time for you either to get gifted, because this is the thing, like with that text message or sign up on a list and you're not ready to do it, that halts the whole community. And it's
exactly
fair to everyone who is ready. So there is repercussions for everything, even for myself. If I also get the text message, #ready. You gotta be ready. I skipped once because I didn't catch the text message.
Right.
But now most of us that are here, we've been doing this long enough to know when you see this text message, we'll put the email, the number that it's coming from. If you see the email, respond back to it.
Right.
If you're not sure, we have the phone numbers up. We have the Q&A.
I just think that they need to have y'all need to have some kind of repercussion.
What the repercussion is
for that. Okay.
So you get in there and you act a donkey, you cussing, anything.
Right, I understand.
So, and if we continue to have to keep reaching out to you in order to receive your blessing, we can't hold the whole community up.
Correct.
Any longer. Because I mean, it was some of them nights in the wave, it was stretchers, and it's not because the admins didn't do the part, the community didn't do the part. So like I said, when that happens, we're gonna, if we board on, once we board on Tuesday, and if somebody doesn't gift in, anybody in the room's ready to board, let's get them boarded.
Exactly.
We gotta keep moving.
Okay. So, but they won't be eliminated from the group, right? They will if they don't come in, if they don't respond. Oh, okay. And my last question.
To be honest with you, unless, because sometimes things happen, like and that has happened, and people reach out to us. Look, I'm going to be on my shift, and there's been times that they sent the money to one of the admins, and we gifted in for.
Right.
So if you know that you're going to be boarding that night, you get the text message or the email, or your phone dings because we didn't put this in the room. Take a look at it.
Right. I totally agree. Okay, my last question. Thank you for answering that question. My last question is: so the people that paid out the $1,200, that were paid out the $1,200 for the bridge, which is the gate now, are they going to have to pay in those $500, or is that just a wash?
That's the thing. This is why we had to do this because we are fluctuating. They're already in the power plant. Well, the roof. Plus already in the 100. We have multiple community members that have went in multiple times in each one of the tiers, and at least one time in the power plant. Well, the roof.
Okay. And then also, I wanted to ask you, like, I know you said the time from 7 to 8:30, but don't you think it should be to 9 o'clock? Because you know how people have issues with their phones or can't screenshot or something.
When we opened up the gate, it took us less than 30 minutes to get these boards closed.
Well, yeah, I know that. Yeah,
they were ready, and that's why we're telling you have to get ready, because we still have to. The admins still have to rotate the boards. We have stuff to do.
I understand.
So the community, when we start sending out these text messages and the emails and putting the boards and stuff in the room, we have to be ready to go.
Right, I understand. I just think that, we need to try to alleviate as many past issues that we had previous in order to make this, more successful than before.
Yeah.
But thank you. You've answered my questions. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, lady.
Okay, Larry.
Hey, y'all.
Hey, Larry, how you doing?
I'm good.
Thanks for being patient.
Oh, no problem. So, I guess the only questions I really have is, once you get in here, we get going and everything like that, we don't have to bring the 2 people in, and we're sponsoring people in. I guess there's no real guarantee, but how sure are we that we're not going to end up where we are in the other room? Like, we're not reinventing the wheel.
Yeah, we all have to do our part. We have to do our part. It's no right. It's
trial and error.
It's not even trial and error. If we don't get new people to come in, if we, if we don't start sharing this and spreading the word and, educating people on what the process is, we need new people. We need more people to come into the community.
Okay, and then my next question is the top tier, because I haven't memorized anything yet, but the top tier, how fast are those going to start working again? Where are we on that? Because you said you had 4 people for the bottom tier, but what about the top tier? Because that's what, next Thursday, right?
That's if we haven't yet, and we're still going to close based off our list. We're going to close.
So closing pieces.
If we only have enough to close 2 boards, we'll close 2 boards.
So we'll close 2 boards next week then.
Depending on what the list, I can't guarantee. What we'll do is still based off the list. It's going to be based off how well the community, including myself and the admins, will get out here and start sharing this information. It's a team effort. It has to be a team. It has to be a community effort.
Sure, I guess that's my biggest stump is if we're thinking of it like that, and we're doing the sponsorship, that's great and all, but why not encourage the 2 people or bringing in anybody? Because anybody will fill out the list and everything, and how about we all just as a community just bring people?
But that hasn't worked. That's what I'm saying. Multiple groups, just somewhere, how? Just like, for instance, I'm gonna give you a prime example. I have a guy who just called me and really flipped out on me, but I hadn't seen him. I hadn't spoke to him since we started. So when I go back and I look at the list and I pull it together to see who brought who in, he just came in by himself.
Yeah.
And nobody. And the only way we move is we all move.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, Larry, if you know a couple of people who have $500 to go in the $500, let's go. But we're still in the sponsor, because ultimately, we still need a fluctuation in new people.
Okay, and my final question, with the other rooms, how only 3 people went from the wave to holding up their end of the bargain and going into the power plant, is that still should be a requirement? If they don't, okay, so if you're at the bottom tier and you don't go into the next tier, are you going to be dropped completely?
Yes, sir.
Okay, perfect. All right, thank you.
We're not, it's like, we don't have that leeway anymore. You know,
Mhm.
first, that second, that third. Oh yeah, if you don't go up, you get back on this. No,
Yeah,
it's not fair to the community. And we had,
right,
quite a few people ready to move up, or like when we opened the $100 room, they just didn't do it.
right.
And I know all who done it. So, a couple of them tried to sign back on the list and you didn't get back on there.
Mm-hmm. Because I signed in on the first tier and the top tier. I didn't do the middle tier.
That's fine.
Um,
Because you're already in the top tier.
all right. Well, I thank you for answering the questions.
No problem. I think
Katrina, you had one more question in the chat, and Jonathan, I'm gonna have to ask you to kind of speak to this. Are you referring to the sponsorship list when you're saying people can use multiple names and cash tags and sponsor themselves multiple times? Or is that what you're referring to?
That's what I was referring to. It seems like if you do that sponsorship list, and you go in multiple times, and because I think someone was talking about, if they bring their family in, then they would be coming in on the sponsorship list, and then they didn't have Cash App or whatever, but you could use the same Cash App. Well, what's not to say that one person is getting in a whole bunch of different times, just being sponsored in. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm.
a lot of stuff we will be able to catch and look at, but ultimately, people just gotta be honest. Keep it 100. So
I mean, we can say keep it 100, but somebody could be keeping it 100 with themselves.
Yeah,
and
but ultimately,
Katrina, the other part of that, I think the admin team had made mention that if they find that happening, they're going to sell their spot.
yeah,
okay.
because like I'll call, like we're gonna, and that's another reason why we took the sponsor. We're gonna add a couple more requirements to the form, because if you're saying this is for your family, I should be able to call them like, okay, hi, thank you for being a sponsorship. If I can't call and talk to somebody, how are you sponsored? You understand what I'm saying? So,
Yeah.
but ultimately, we do want the community to be 100. It doesn't benefit us in a whole to do that.
I mean, I definitely want us to win. I just don't want to be sponsoring somebody that's sponsoring themselves. That's what I'm getting at.
And like I said, and if we find this happening, it'll be rectified really quickly.
Cool. Thank you.
Really quickly. And like I said, and one thing I can honestly say about our community, a lot of us are connected to each other some way, somehow, some way. So a lot of times the community may catch before we do. Don't be afraid, like, wait a minute, no, that don't sound right. Send one of us a DM. We'll send a plug a DM.
Yeah, because if you've noticed on boarding nights, you have some people say, oh, that person just boarded. We have some hawks in there, so.
We know. So, but if you are caught doing that, because like I say, this is an opportunity for all of us. There's no need to do that, because technically when you do that, this is why, one of the reasons why in the power plant, we don't we don't allow families to gift into families, because one, it could be for, it's not a good thing to do. So most families do gift other people. So like, for instance, if I have a family of 8 that came in all on one board, we put them all on one board. So when they separate off, they all go in different directions. So with the 100, the sponsorship, list, we will definitely keep an eye on it. That's one of the things, a side note, to check the sponsorship, even if we have to send out a text message, or a phone call to make sure they're being sponsored. And they need to know. So whoever you put on these sponsorship lists, they need to know they're being sponsored. And we're gonna put on it was suggested that we put a link also, I mean, a space for, so if I sponsor someone and they ask, who sponsors you in, it'll say Katrina Dotson. I think someone else has a question.
Yep, one more question in the chat. Oh, sorry, does let me look, I didn't see any more hands raised. Okay, Ms. Stevens, give me just 1 second. I have a question in the chat. Somebody asked, and because you mentioned this previously, what does a board look like when someone is dropped, or what happens to that spot?
Okay, so if we have to, guys, we really don't, I really don't want to do that. Like, so wrestlers, please do what we're supposed to do so we don't have to do that. But if they ask to do that, I'll put it up we'll put it in the Q&A to see if anyone wants to buy this spot. You know, and we're not going to give out that personal information of that person whose spot you're buying. We'll put the, most likely, since we haven't done it yet, but just sit here thinking, we'll put the board up without the name, maybe, and that's the spot you'll be purchasing. And then, but again, that if we have to do that, the amount of work that puts on the admin, because then we have to go back to where they originally started and change every board. So we don't want to do that. So please do what we're supposed to do.
Okay,
but if we have to, we will.
Okay, Ms. Stevens.
Good afternoon. Thank you so much. So really quickly, my question is, first off, I did receive my answer to my question in the chat, so thank you very much. But for those of us who are committed to the community and would like to sponsor someone prior to being gifted, I would take it that would be an optimal solution as well, correct?
Yes, that'll be solely up to you. Like I said, I'm not gonna put my team on the sponsorship list. I'm just gonna, gift them in, and I have a couple of other people who wants to come in on the 500. So if you want to do it before they're sponsored in, go ahead. We have, no stipulations on who or how you can sponsor if you want to sponsor off the list or before the list comes out. You can sponsor, we all can sponsor people in at any time. Okay. To the $100 room, the ladder.
Okay. I have one question from Patricia and Miss Mary, then I'll come to you. Once a person is gifted at the roof level and decides to leave, however, and gives the $500 for the sponsorship and decides not to re-enter at the top tier, can they later re-enter again at the $500 level?
Okay, wait, let me read that. Make sure I'm saying it. Once a person is gifted in the roof level, because the roof is our residual. So if you don't come back in on a roof, you're, like for instance, if I don't come back in on the roof and re-gift the person who I gifted in on, it messes up the whole effect. So if that does happen again, we'll sell your spot, but you're not coming back. That's not fair to the community or the person that you originally came in, because the roof is our residual income. So once we get started and we get caught up, income. So no, you won't be able to come back in once you get to the roof or any of the levels. Because like I said, we're all committing, to go through this process so we can all be successful. So if you decide once you get gifted in the plug, you'll sponsor your 5 people in, and you don't re-gift to the person you originally came in on, you won't be coming.
Okay, we'll take the last question for tonight from Miss Mary.
Hey, Miss Mary, how you doing this evening? Gotta unmute herself. Hold on. Help. It's Mary.
Okay. Hi.
Hey.
How's everybody doing?
Good.
Okay, I came in a little late and I apologize if I'm asking a question that has already been asked. But I don't want to get it secondhand. The question is, I've gifted on the wave and in the power plant. Okay, so my question is as far as the members that have came in through the new tiers, where are we at as far as being able to move forward to bless out those people that came in July and August?
Are you saying as far as the power plant? I mean, well, the power plant?
Yeah, the roof now it's called,
Okay.
right? Because
So,
you didn't lose your plate, you were just shifted over to the roof. Is that correct?
when you're in the same exact place, the boards will be put up tonight after the meeting. So yeah, you're in the exact same place you were when we closed our last boards, which we closed our last boards because we
On
closed
8/08/20.
Yep, and we did a total of 8 boards. So we're on the group 32 for the power.
32 for the power, for the roof, and then for the wave, what number are we at?
I believe. Let's do this.
I can look that up. You got to post it.
Yeah, we're gonna post the boards. Crystal, do me a favor, give her a call.
Yeah, Miss Mary, I can follow up with you tomorrow. You can call me.
Okay, so we're gonna I'm gonna summarize real quick and let everybody get their night going. So once the Zoom call is over tonight, we are gonna post the boards in the updated forms. The challenge is for once we need to get the sponsorship list going. To close 4 boards in each of the rooms, we need 24 people. Oh, my bad. Y'all excuse my facial expression. Wow. Okay. So let's get some people on the list. The list will be open tonight. We have updated them. The boards will be posted tonight. The education will be posted tonight. I'll post this video. Ultimately, it'll be uploaded to YouTube and taken off of the Zoom. As we're trying to gear more towards the YouTube. I have opened the Facebook and the Instagram. It's been open probably for like about 2 weeks. I haven't launched it yet, as me and the team will talk about, getting the logos and different things done. But all that will also be up and running pretty soon. But for tonight, the Zoom call will be posted in the rooms. Remember, no longer you can't post in the ladder, the gate, or the roof until 15 minutes prior to us opening the boards. And the only people who should be posting is the giftees and the people who are gifting in. So the admin team can see and move through and closing these boards in a timely manner and not, taking the hour to close 1 or 2 boards, because that's our time and especially your time. And most of us do work, in the daytime. And ultimately, I would like to see us not having to pretty much live on Telegram to get this, the things done. Secondly, remember, let's keep it positive. Let's be respectful to each other. I'm trying to make sure I didn't forget anything. And also remember, we're not guaranteed. Even when you go to share this with people, please do not guarantee them anything. And that was another big thing that really hurt us. Like,
yeah, you was guaranteeing they was gonna get paid.
Yeah, they're guaranteeing that, oh, you're gonna get gifted within a couple of days and you're gonna do this, but we can't guarantee anything. It's no different than the stock market or anything. Do not guarantee your family members, oh, this date. That, be honest and upfront with them, like, this is what's going on. And that's one of the biggest reasons why when it comes to our chat, especially in our Q&A, we have to keep it positive. We have to keep it uplifting. We have to keep it respectful. If you do have an issue or you feel like you need to get something off the chest, there's a phone number up there. You can direct message one of us, but please do not put it in the chat. Absolutely not. What else? And like I say, and we're gonna definitely be getting all of the education material out to you guys. Some changes have been made, so you will be getting emails and text messages because we want to make sure we're doing our part, our due diligence, to make sure the community has all the information they need, all the education they need. And if there's something you don't understand, please do not hesitate to ask. Or if we put some education out there and it may not make sense to you, don't hesitate to say, well, Katrina, I didn't really get that. Because I think all questions are good questions. There's no dumb questions, there's no bad questions. Because you got to think, we sit and look at this. We've been looking at this information for days now. So we may not catch everything. And also, when we are human, we are going to make, spelling. If we spell your name wrong, sorry, but we will fix it. If you ask us to update something and we don't catch it, don't do it the first time, remind us. Be patient with us. Let's work as a team. This is a new day. Again, I want to thank Philippe and the DC team for all of the blessings and all the help. I wish them nothing but success, even with them, have any suggestions, throw it my way, because ultimately we all can win. As long as we look at this as a group effort and no I in team. Because I have had a couple people call me, and it was kind of disheartening and sad, well, why can't I and I and I and I? Because we can't make it if we don't do this. So we're open to suggestions. Again, if you have any questions after you put all the education material up, put it in the Q&A room. You no longer can post in the other rooms other than boarding days, and the only ones who should be posted in the rooms on boarding days are the gifties and the people who are gifting in. Did I say that right? Yeah, I think it is. So where we at on time? I can't see how long we talk.
It's 8 o'clock. Time to wrap.
8 o'clock. It's time to wrap it up. Again, I just want to thank everybody for being patient and working with us. And let's share. Let's get these boards moving. And that's the ultimate goal. We're here. And again, no one should be answering questions in the Q&A if you're not an admin. Please do not answer questions in the Q&A if you're not an admin. We will be, once we get all the education and stuff out, because we will grow. We will reach out to a couple, some people to help us answer questions. But when, the community answer questions in the Q&A and they're not correct, it just causes so much more confusion. So please let the admins, and most of the time we'll post under the plug. You'll see the black plug circle. And other than that, I'll see you Sunday at 7. Remember, the text messages for the ladder will go out on Sunday. We need 24 people for the ladder, the gate, and the roof to start off. So let's get it done, guys. Y'all have a blessed evening.
Thank you. Good night.
Good night, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good night.
Thank you. Good night.